Hi, I'm Sophia and this is Cody. I'm going to show you how to tack up a horse. So the things that you need is a breast piece. You need the middle piece for under its belly and two sides on it. That's just an option. You don't really need that. And this is a Western bridle because we're Western. Usually, if it's English, it'll have a little nose band. So, and sometimes it won't have a chin piece. And you need a girth. I like rubber girths because they stick better. So rubber girths are recommended. And you need a saddle pad and a saddle. Okay, so the thing that you need first is your saddle pad. You want to put it on their back so that this line right here is lined up where the girth is going to go. And make sure it's even on both sides so that when you put the saddle on and you're on him, you won't slide off. So make sure that's even on both sides. Especially when you put the saddle on because it tends to slide a bit. So, and then you want to grab your saddle. You want to put this piece that hooks onto this ring and the stirrup over to the other side so that it doesn't give you trouble putting it on. Then you'll slide it on. Make sure it's not touching the horse's withers or anything because that can cause irritation. Then you'll make sure that the saddle is even so that the saddle is not going to feel crooked. You just take all the stirrups and everything down. And make sure that the saddle pad's middle is even with its withers and its neck so that you don't feel crooked. And if it is because the saddle pad's crooked, the saddle pad's going to go down here and the saddle's going to come with it. So the next thing that you need is your girth, rubber or threaded one. And you want to put your saddle or your stirrup up. You want to connect it to the one that your horse needs, which ours is the third one. And you just put it in this little pocket right here so it doesn't flap around on the horse and make them get angry or anything. Then you'll put the stirrup down and you'll go to the other side. And you want to put this stirrup up. You want to grab the girth, make sure it's lined up with the shoulder and the right after the leg. And you want to put the strap through and through this little piece right here. Make sure that the saddle is all even and everything. Then you'll go to the left, right here, tighten it, and then go through this ring on the girth. And make sure that nothing's twisted or anything. Then you'll tighten it. Until he looks about good. And then you want to do one final check. Make sure that everything's even. On both sides. And I'll fix that later. And then the breast piece goes on. You have two straps like this. And you want to connect them through this little D-ring right there. Make sure nothing's crooked so that the buckle will go on correctly. So put it through the D-ring, and then buckle it to whatever number you want. and I usually put it on one. Then you'll go the other side and do the same thing, the same ding ring to the same number you're putting it on. Make sure that everything's on correctly. Okay, now down here there should be like a little clip like this that clips, and I put it on the first one right there on the girth, and it's kind of crooked. Make sure it's straight so it doesn't rub on the horse or anything. And now that's nice and good on there. Now you want to get your bridle, and what you're going to do is you're going to take one cross tie off, and you can leave the halter on, but I take it off, and you just attach the halter around his neck. And you might not be able to see because of the sun. You just put it back, then you'll get your bridle ready. Untangle it and make it so that you can put everything on. And now that it's untangled, there's no tangles or problems, and the chain is on there correctly. Go ahead. You put your hand through his ears, and then sometimes you have to stick your hand right through there where there's no teeth, but he takes the bit pretty well. And you just put your chin strap under there, put his ears through there, making sure that he's not going to spit out his bit, and put his ears. His ear doesn't want to go through for some reason. Okay, there we go. Then you take the forelock out if you want. Make it look neat. You just get everything loose, and then there's this little thing that you put under its chin. You'll slip it through there, and make sure that you can fit at least 3 fingers in there. His loosens up. I can fit 3 fingers in there, but his has to loosen up first. Good boy. And he's really enjoying this right now. And make sure there's no humps or bumps or anything on both sides, and make sure everything's loose enough that he's comfortable. Make sure that his chin strap isn't too tight, and that his bit should only have 1 or 2 wrinkles right here, because more than that it could be hurting him. And that everything's correctly on like this right here. It needs to be tightened to make sure that he's not gonna not listen to you. His was tightened a couple days ago, so, and make sure it's not too loose or too tight right there. And that is how to tack up a horse.